All right, guys. On my 100 LL airplane fuel video, I saw that one of you nerds commented in there that your single-cylinder monkey bike runs as fast as my badass Biscayne turbo wagon. You're full of it. This thing eats monkey bikes for breakfast. And I'm going to prove that today by racing this Isle of Man TT scooter. This is probably the baddest scooter in the world. And I'm going to smoke it just to prove a point. It's going to be ridden by my wife. This is her. As you can see, a man that is as beautiful as me gets a beautiful woman. Right?
Right.
Right. This is my wife, Rachel. She's going to ride the scooter. She's going to get smoked because that bad mama jamma ain't beat yet, and it ain't happening today. In the owner's manual of this car, it says it does not get beat by Ford Falcons. It doesn't get beat by scooters or monkey scooters or single cylinder. I don't know what you said, nerd, but it ain't happening. So we're going to go an on-3 race down to the next camera where I'm going to go to glory, and she's going to think about maybe trading this in on something else that's a little bit faster, like a 1964 Biscayne. Correct?
No.
Okay. No, we're going to settle this debate right now. And if I lose, I'm just not going to put this footage in there. Or I'll make up some sort of awesome excuse that's real, and it's not actually an excuse. It actually happened. So, from right here, on 3, let's go. She has a jump starter scooter because a race scooter doesn't have an alternator. It's just purely for race. She actually pushed it here. Go ahead. So, as you can see, she clearly jumped, and that's why she won. And I spun the tires, and I do believe that the computer has a virus. So, we're going to put Nortons on this thing and come back and try it again. That's a win for the Biscayne.
No.
Yeah, no, I won.
You just don't have good reaction time.
I won.
No.
You jumped.
No.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That video.
Yeah, better luck next time, Rachel. Oh. Guys, welcome to this week's episode of Hot Rods and Dad Bods. These are like my favorite episodes to do. It's new card day, new project card day. The Nova's gone. Went to a buddy. He bought the shell. I kept the LS and the transmission and the wiring stuff and all that jazz. The fuel system, that'll go in something else. Maybe the Biscayne. Maybe a different project. I don't know. We'll get to that later. But I made the decision to drive 10 hour round trip to Maryland and pick up a new car. You guys will never guess what it is. It's not my style. It's a scary one. I have a Dodge truck. It's a 14 Ram. It's been nothing but a headache the whole time I've owned it. Bought it with a miss. Ended up having to cam it. All that stuff. And the tuning process has been a nightmare. It's just been a real hard one to get tuned. It's seen 2 or 3 different guys, and it still has a lot of problems. And that scared me bringing it to Maryland, especially through the mountains and what have you. When we were coming back through the mountains with this new car on the back, that thing was hotter than a $1,000 hooker. It was not happy. But, like I said, Nova's gone. It was a great car, solid car, good bones, good start. It just wasn't what I wanted. I feel like the older I get, the more weird my taste gets. I like 60s cars. I like late 50s, early to mid 60s cars. I think they're cool. So, I guess that tells you what we probably got. Year range. And I'm super pumped that I got this car. I really am. I didn't take a lot of footage driving down. Driving montages suck. They're weird. They're stupid. So I did get some footage of us loading it. The guys that I bought it off of were awesome. They helped me load it. They're just super cool about it. So if you guys are watching, thank you. That definitely wouldn't have got done with just me and my buddy. That's a big car to be loading like that with flat tires. So thank you guys. I do got a little time lapse of that I'll throw in here in a minute. And that's about it. I literally took like maybe 4 videos of some cool things we went by. That's it. I'm not one for the travel videos. They're stupid. No one likes driving. Like when you're driving long distances, it's very rare for a person to actually like that. Why would I film that? I don't like it. I don't want to remember it. I just like getting to the beans of the video here. Okay? So, with that being said, give you some B-roll of the new ride. And then we'll come back here and talk about the plan. Today, this is obviously you saw, it's a 63 country sedan. Basically it's a Galaxy wagon. That's freaking cool. You think it's cool, right? This car's been sitting since 1980. So 45 years. And today what we're gonna do is, it'd be really cool if this video ended with me driving this thing around the block. I don't know if that's gonna happen or not. But we will get this running. Today's the day that this car runs again. So, like I said, today what we're gonna do is try to get it running, try to get it driving. We got to get some sort of different wheels and tires on it. These ones are chooched. It has no brakes. The fuel smells like wine. Not good. So I'm sure the whole fuel system's gonna need to be gone through here. The carburetor is probably drier than a dude's elbows on a Gold Bond commercial. You know, a lot of things are going on, but I'll take you guys through the process of what I know to do to get these things running correctly. And I'm sure you guys all know what to do. I mean, this has been covered 14 million times, but not with this car and not by Fat Boy Jimmy. Let's go do this. Business here is gonna be washing. As you can see, it's pretty sunny out right now. And nature's being very nice to us, but the projected forecast is not happening anymore. I think around 2 o'clock, it's like 11-ish now, and around 2 o'clock, it's supposed to start raining and not stop till tomorrow. So, we got to get this big behemoth in here. But, there's some creepy, crawling, heebie-jeebie sons of guns in there. There's mold on it. There's a whole bunch of weird shit going on. Looks like the mice have made the intake their home. We got to get all this stuff out of here before it comes in here. I am not bringing no little baby Sasquatches in here to be growing in my garage. It ain't happening. I'm the king of this area. They're going to have to move. So, we're going to do a wash. I do believe this is probably its first wash in a long time. We'll start with cleaning out the interior and wiping it down, getting all the yuck out of there, and then we'll obviously go to the engine, pressure washer, cool stuff, then body, then pull in. Plan is to get it all on jack stands. I'd like to get it on 4 jack stands and get the wheels off of it. It has no brakes. Lord knows every wheel cylinder in it's probably blown because that's just how things work. More than likely, the brake line, I hate the brake part of this. The brakes are the part. I'm telling you, you buy old cars that have been sitting for a while, it's the scariest thing getting ready to press that brake pedal. It's scary. Normally, they're completely screwed and everything there needs changed. I lucked out with the Biscayne, hit the brake pedal, solid. Things work great. You slam on them, they'll pull you to the left in the other lane, but they're working. Doesn't matter. This one, no, not like that. Zero brakes whatsoever. So we'll attempt to get that fixed and get an auxiliary fuel tank in here for a second until we can pull this one out and get it cleaned out because it is a mess. That thing is full of fuel that is now black and smells like grape wine. I'm not even joking. Like, it stank the whole place up. It's pretty wild. But anywho, before I continue rambling and doing fat Jimmy things, let's get to cleaning this thing and get it in here before it starts pouring out. The last thing we need is me in a wet t-shirt contest with these girls. You know what I mean? I'm out of here. So, we are at the point where we're checking out the motor. I bought this under the understanding that the motor was free and not stuck, and that's not really the truth. It's taking a lot of force to get a little bit of movement out of this motor. I'm talking like worried I'm gonna break the bolt force. So yeah, that's great. So what we're gonna do is pull all the plugs. Normally I'd make up a little concoction of like Marvel Mystery Oil, ATF, stuff like that. Unfortunately, I don't have any Marvel Mystery Oil here. I don't know where it went. I thought I had some, but I don't. So we're gonna use ATF and some other stuff. Dump it down in the cylinders. Let it sit for a few, and while that's sitting, obviously, I'm gonna take off the fuel line and try to get some sort of can here that it can feed off of, and we will then see if that helps free something up. I'd really hate to break a ring by pushing through the rust that's probably in these cylinders right now, so I want to give it its best fighting chance. So now we will probably go to a montage of me hanging over the fenders and breaking spark plug wires trying to get them off. So let's go. Well, that is going to be a problem. So I went to the store, got an extractor, got that spark plug bit out. Thank God. Stuff's done its job. Look at this. Let's see. She's turning over like a charm now. Next problem is this here carbonator ain't worth a shit. It's locked up. I'm gonna pull it off and throw it on the shelf. Don't really care to mess with it, to be honest. So instead, I'm gonna go run and grab a sniper real quick, a Holly sniper, and we'll put that in there. Put an auxiliary fuel tank in it for now. And if we can get it running on that, that would be cool. We'll see what happens. Guys, we got the intake off. I want to start with that intake. Whoo! You could use that for ballasting a no prep car. That's a heavy. You know what I mean? Biggin. That thing actually took like some muscle to get it out of there. That was crazy. Like, that's by far the heaviest intake I've ever pulled off of an engine. As you can see, we got a lot of stuff going on. There's stuff, you know. So, what I'm going to do is clean this up. This could be from anything. I mean, it could be from the choke sticking. Could be... Back in the day, oils didn't have a bunch of detergents. They didn't have a bunch of cleaning properties like they do now. So, could have to do with that. I don't know. Don't really care. But what I do know is I don't want this stuff in there and then getting into my new oil filter. So, I'm going to work a little while on cleaning this up and making it nicer and making less debris for the future. So, I'm going to do that off camera. Sure, you guys aren't interested in watching me clean. I don't know. But I would say the next time I jump in, we will be ready to start putting this girl back together with its new parts. So, I'll see y'all in a few. Look at this. This thing's freaking awesome, dude. Looks like a hot rod now. Last time you guys were here, had this thing blowed apart. Looking terrible. Old rusty stuff going on, and I think I had the intake sitting on it. Around the same time, my wife came in, and she was looking at the motor, and she made a really snarky comment. Went a little like,
Hey, that intake really looks out of place. In that motor bay, the intake's nice.
what? It crushed me. It crushed me. I couldn't let go of it. I almost said things to her that would have prevented me from getting dinner. I can't be prevented from dinner. So, I took 3 hours with some spray paint and made this thing look good. So here it is. Looks amazing now. Yeah, you gonna say nothing snarky now, are you, Rachel? Now it's good. Does it look out of place? I don't think so. Anywho, still got a couple things to do before we can fire this up. The sniper has to be wired up. It's pretty straightforward. You got a 12 volt power, reference wire, the top of the key, and the plugs are, they only go into one another. And there ain't no crossbreeding stuff going on here. The plugs only go one way. So, not going to film that. I also got to put the fuel system in, run the line, mount the pump. Unfortunately, I got to use a fuel cell. So I got to mount the cell. Just stupid stuff like that. Get the lines up here, get them hooked up. And this is just stuff that is not film worthy in my opinion. So for me, it'll be like the next 4 hours of my life. And for you guys, it'll be like 13 milliseconds and then we'll be ready to rock. I do plan to get this thing fired up. This is taking a lot longer than I originally expected, which is normal. It's like a car guy thing. How many of you guys go out in the garage and say, go out here and do this 2-hour job, and then 4 days later, you're literally getting to the point where you can do the 2-hour job now? I don't understand how the universe works. It's just how it works. So, anywho, I will get this stuff done, and then I'll bring you guys back in when we're getting ready to fire this bad Larry up. Well, it kind of runs. Got it running. Sounded pretty rough. Not gonna lie. Started it up about 4 or 5 different times and let it idle for about 15 seconds. Didn't want to get oil pressure. So, I stuck a 1/4-inch socket onto the drive for the oil pump and proceeded to manually pump it up. Seems like it got, I don't know, started to pump up a little bit and then just let loose and was free spinning. I thought maybe the drive came off of it. That is not the case. The oil pump just gave up. You're going to have that, especially when cars are sitting for 45 years. Unfortunately, what happens now is the motor is coming out. I figure if we're going to get so deep into where we're putting an oil pump in it and pulling the pan and yada yada, we may as well re-gasket the whole motor, check all the bearings, all that stuff. Just make sure that this is a good unit. Yeah. So, in a week, we have a car show for a school. I'd like to bring both the wagons to it. I like supporting little things like that. We have a week to get this thing going. And in the meantime, before any of that happens, I have a truck that I have to get finished and sent back to its owner. So, unfortunately, this here's where we end off the video. Sucks, for sure. I was hoping that we would be able to jump in this old girl and take a ride and have a good time, and that is just not how this is going to go. I don't know. You win some, you lose some. And I don't think that this isn't anything that I didn't expect when I bought this. I mean, that's a thing with these old cars that have been sitting forever. Just expect the worst. I know a lot of them, they go good. Like the Biscayne, for instance. That thing, such a good car. Sat for, 20 years, and I didn't even have to work hard to get her going. Thing just wanted to run. It wanted to live. This one is completely different. It's still in its hibernation period where, when you wake up and there's crusties all over your eyes. This thing is that. This is it. So, like I said, you win some, you lose some. Sorry I couldn't make a better video on this one, but that's just how it's going to be sometimes. I've been putting a lot of time into this, getting it going, and I really thought that today was the day that we take it for a ride and I get to make a video and release it. But I was very wrong. Very wrong. But hopefully, maybe in the next one or the one after that, or in 47 weeks, we'll be able to drive this thing around. Worst comes to worst, we just won't put this back in. We'll put a small block Chevy in it or something. Oh, no, I'm just kidding. I'm going to keep it Ford powered and keep it old school. Ideally, in my opinion, that's what makes these kind of cars cool, is just getting the feel for what it would be like back in 1963 driving them around. So, if any of you guys have any cam suggestions, figure, well, it's out, maybe we'll toss a cam in it. Obviously, I think it's a 352, but same family from like 390 FE. So yeah, maybe we'll toss a cam in it. I don't know. Maybe we'll just put it back together stock. Who knows? It all depends on how this thing looks when it comes out. But again, I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry we couldn't accomplish the goal on this one. I did try. I've been working hard on this one. I've been out here every day, beating myself up, trying to get this thing right. And, you know, we made some good leaps and bounds. Obviously, the whole fuel injection system's done now. The motor had a bunch of new parts to kind of update it to today's standards on fueling. Updated the spark. It's got an HEI. You know, just cleaned a bunch of stuff up, made it look nice. I was actually hoping today we'd get it running real well. I was going to fix the brake line, then slam it, and we'd go for a ride. I might still slam it today. I don't know. You know, it's going to look a lot cooler pushing around a slam station wagon than it is one sitting normal. I'll tell you that. You can take that to the bank. I'm out of here. See you guys.